welcome back to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe Royland. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the up-and-coming new English rock band from Derby, Derbyshire, UK, the Struts, and their new release, Everybody Wants. Well, sort of new release, but we'll get to that later. The band were originally formed back in 2010, consisting of vocalist Luke Spiller, guitarist Adam Slack, bassist Jed Elliott, and drummer Gethin Davies. I was introduced to this band by my friend and coworker Lyle Webster, who, for months, getting to learn my musical taste, has said, "Hey, are you familiar with this band, the Struts? Because I really think you'd like them." No, I really think you'd like them. And I didn't really check them out at first until just recently, back at the beginning of March, when Everybody Wants finally got a full-on Stateside release. And turns out Lyle was very much right, and the more I've listened to this band, the more I love them. It's a band that revels in the past sound of 70s glam rock, with singer Luke Spiller very much coming off as the love child of Queen's Freddie Mercury and Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, and not just in performance and style, but very much in the way he looks too. Check out the video for this track you're hearing right now. I'll post later, called Could Have Been Me, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And while he may not have the range of Freddie Mercury, he's certainly got many of his vocal mannerisms down, and again, you'll hear that in this track too. The group takes its name from an offhand comment made about Spiller's stage movements and that he tended to strut around a lot, and they liked it, so it kind of stuck. This album was originally released back in the band's native UK in 2014, but with a different cover and less tracks. And then they signed a deal in the US here with Interscope Records, relocated to Los Angeles in early 2015, and put out the Have You Heard EP as kind of a taster teaser. And since then, they've been building up a buzz here, leading up to the release, brand new US, of Everybody Wants, with a new cover and 5 bonus tracks not on the original release. This is big, hooky rock and roll that's super catchy, pays homage to the classics of the genre like Queen and Slade and T-Rex, and a little Bowie even, as well as some little tad bit of maybe some Zeppelin here or there, and some AC/DC guitar flourishes here or there, as well as maintaining the modern edge of bands like the Libertines or the Arctic Monkeys and a couple others we'll get to in a minute. Also think kind of like the Darkness, with better vocals, more pop-leaning edge, and if they decided to take themselves more seriously, they could have been the Struts. This album is chock-a-block full of classic tracks, killer singles that have already been released, like the one you're hearing right now, Could Have Been Me, Kiss This, and not one, but 2 songs about money. Put Your Money on Me, which is one of my favorites on the album, as well as the swaggering Dirty Sexy Money, also pretty great tune. In between all that, there's lots of other great cuts, like the more laid-back Merry-Go-Round, which is probably my favorite track on the album, definitely a highlight. Songs like She Makes Me Feel Like, which brings to mind the Kooks, who came out back in the mid-2000s. They're a bit more Cockney, but definitely sounds like them, where they would tend to introduce a little bit more of maybe a new wavy, almost dancey Scotia keyboard, just to kind of up the backbeat quotient. And then there's tracks like the full-on Queen pomp of Young Stars and Only Just a Call Away, which totally bring on the Freddie-isms, and even Brian May right down to the guitar solos. And it's just great. It's just a great listen all the way through to the album's closing foot-stomping Slade-style sing-along song, Where Did She Go? So if you dig any of those bands and just kind of want it with like a little bit more of a fresh, modern twist to it, go out and pick up the Struts. Everybody Wants. It's out now. It's cheap too, so it's definitely worth your money. It's worth spending like $9 to $10 on just to get it. And that is our show for this week. Hopefully you dig these guys as much as I'm digging them. We'll be back very soon with a new show. In the meantime, I hope you're catching all the friends that we have on the page that we always talk about. Righteous Final, my good friend Scott. Also my good friends over at the Riff of the Day, who I haven't contributed to in a while, but that's, you know, I've had not hard enough time getting this show done. As well as all the great podcasts that I share on the site every week. Things like Decibel Geek Podcast, Pods and Sods, Eric and Craig, those guys are great. The Shabby Road Record Show, thanks for giving me a shout out recently, guys. Ryan and AD over there. The Rock and Roll Podcast with BJ, who actually I recorded an upcoming show for him early today. I was a guest host on his show. That'll be out sometime down the road, so look for that much later. And also the Dig Me Out Podcast. All great shows you should be listening to. You'll dig them if you haven't checked them out yet. And we will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. See you then. Until then, go out and pick some groovy rock and roll up from the Struts. Everybody Wants. See you later.